Out of the 109
budget is performing and looking at the various agencies and parastatals that are under the various committees. And on that note, Mr. President, the Senate may wish to now extend the time for oversight functions, if the Senate so wish, with another week so that we can resume on Tuesday, the 20th November 2018, Mr. President, I so suggest. We are more than 10, but certainly not up to 38. So we are somewhere between 10 and 20. So it's just for our record, we're not less than 10, but I think we are less than 20. So I second the motion.
Senate President Bukola Saraki put the decision to vote, and it was approved. He henceforth extended plenary date to Tuesday, the 20th.
I'm going to put the questions. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, before we finish for today's other people, I think it's important that our members who are not here, we should please communicate to them those on oversight to ensure that they finish whatever they have during the week, so that we know that we have finished with the area of the oversight, which clearly has kept a lot of our members out of here. But I think, as we all know, some of the findings that is emanating from the oversight also is equally as important, and that it's important that that exercise is done diligently. But we should try and ensure that we have that completed by the end of this week. So that is in line with Order 10.3 that clearly says that once we don't have a quorum, then we need to adjourn.
As still on the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has adjourned its sitting over a faulty sound system. Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, said the adjournment is necessary to create room for the sound system to be fixed. According to Dogara, the microphones were installed in 1999 and the panels will take 3 weeks to arrive in Nigeria from Germany. The sitting was then adjourned on Wednesday, November the 14th, 2018. He, however, said if the problem persists by Wednesday, the House will adjourn sitting indefinitely.
The public address system of the House has collapsed. And for those who will want to cash in on that, to portray the House somehow, they should note that this is a technology that was installed in 1999 and is obsolete. We had a destroyed some of the panels. And for us to get these panels, we have to order it from the manufacturers, the original manufacturers in Germany. And they have said that we can only take delivery of those panels that were burned on account of the power surge within 3 weeks. So as it is, we'll continue to improvise until we have taken delivery of those panels from the manufacturers. So we'll adjourn the House till tomorrow. If the problem persists, then we may have to, in consultation with some of the engineers that are working on the control room, we will take an appropriate decision by tomorrow when we reconvene. But hopefully we'll be able to make improvisation for our proceedings as from tomorrow. But if it doesn't work, then in consultation we'll determine when the next available date that the House can sit. So, Leader, could you please move that we'll adjourn the House till tomorrow, please?
Anyway, from the National Assembly, the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for Recovery of Public Property has released the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodimma, whom is arrested over an allegation of failure to execute a contract of $12 million for the dredging of Calabar Channel. Chairman of the panel, Okoye Ogbono Obula, who made this known to journalists, said the serving senator representing Imo West, Hope Uzodimma, was released on humanitarian grounds on the condition that he would return to the panel for questioning. According to the panel's chairman, the contract was awarded by the Nigerian Sports Authority, NPA. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says the former Petroleum Minister, Diezani Madueke, is not being tried in the United Kingdom, UK, has been speculated. EFCC Chairman Ibrahim Magu, who made the clarification at a media briefing to mark his 3 years in office, said no corruption case has been pressed against the former minister in the UK and that Nigerian is desirous of extraditing her to face trial at home.
It was being investigated even before I assumed office. So it has taken so long. It's very unreasonable that she's not being tried there. So that we are tired of waiting. That's why I said, look, if you cannot prosecute her, bring her, we'll prosecute her. So there's no prosecution going on there. We are involved in the investigation in this country and outside this country, in America, in London. I've been there, all the places. We have worked together, we've sat down together. So I mean, we cannot wait endlessly like this. I think 3 years and above is sufficient for you to take her to court. There is no court process going against her. There is no prosecution. Nobody's prosecuting her there. So that's why I say let us initiate extradition initiative so that she can bring her, she'll face it. The rest of the law. Next week or so, the prosecutors from Italy will be here. We are working, collaborating very well with our colleagues in Italy and the other part of the world.
Members of the Anambra State House of Assembly have impeached their Speaker, Rita Maduhagu, during today's plenary at the Assembly chamber in Oka, the state capital. The former Speaker was impeached on the grounds of alleged incompetence, indocility, financial impropriety, and high-handedness. They consequently elected Nkem Uzo Eze as the new Speaker. The lawmakers took the decision after the new Speaker, Uzo Eze, who representing Agota 2 constituency, moved the motion for impeachment, while Onyebuchi Ofo from Igwe Sigo constituency seconded the motion. Meanwhile, the clerk of the House, Pius Udo, was against the inauguration of the new Speaker, citing that lawmakers did not follow due procedures. And now to Kwara State, where 7 political parties have agreed to work for the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the Saturday's by-election for the Ekiti, Eshan, Irepodu, Oke, Ero Federal Constituency seat of the Kwara State. Political parties were led by the leaders to adopt the APC candidate Rahim Olawuyi at a ceremony in Amo Oron, Irepodu local government area of the state. According to the report, the seat became vacant following the death of Fuke Adeduin, who had represented the constituency. The 7 political parties are People's Progressive Party, National Action Council, and New Progressive Movement, amongst others. And ahead of the 2019 election, Chairman of Aguda Ikete Local Council Development Area, Omobolanle Obe, has appealed to women in Lagos State to come out en masse to vote in the forthcoming 2019 general elections. Omobolanle, who made the appeal on Monday in Lagos, charged women to live up to the All Progressive Congress APC expectation of a landslide victory at the polls. Superscreen Mike Osameke reports.
These are women willing to give their all in the forthcoming general elections in Nigeria, and this time they are throwing their weight behind the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). Speaking at the gathering, which brings to an end a 5-day sensitization exercise, leader of the women, who is also the chairman, Aguda Ikate Local Council Development Area, Omobolanle Obe, charged the women on delivering the expected results.
This is not a party affair. It is something that is done, it is encapsulated with all groups in this society called Lagos State, to make sure that to the grassroots level, everybody is included, everybody is informed. That is why you see various people from diverse, we see Hausa, we see Igbo, diversity in unity. That is what we want here, and that is what Lagos State stands for. We have Igbos here, we have South-South, Energy of the Nation, we have Arewa, we have No Pays, we have the Connie case, we have everybody in Lagos State, and they are all legal. And in every awareness that we do, every division that we have gone to, you will find them there ready, the professionals, they are ready to work with us so that everybody down to the grassroots will have their PVC.
Other party stalwarts appealed to the women to collect their permanent voters' cards PVC before the expiration date.
This is not campaign. The campaign has not started yet, but we are just going around just to sensitize our people on the importance of the collection of the PVCs, and particularly because the verification exercise is ongoing, so that people can go to their various registration centers and confirm their names on the register. We have really achieved, because we believe that even after this sensitization, our women will go to their various local governments and LCDs and then sensitize their people too on the importance of the collection of their PVCs.
We have to sensitize Nigerians, we have to sensitize electorate of their functions to collect PVC and to make sure to go around to their various polling booths to verify whether their names appears in the voters register. So in preparation for the election. Because if you don't do that, it will be very difficult for them to vote in the next election. So that's why we've been going around for the past a week now to sensitize all the electorates, to tell them that it is pertinent for them to go and pick up their cards and to go and verify those things, their names in their papers. And if there's any challenges, they should quickly go to the INEC office to inform them so they can correct it before that time.
Without the PVC, you cannot vote. So, and we want to elect the person of our own. So, before we can do that, we have to get that PVC to have access to vote. So that's why we are here to campaign to people that have not collected their own to collect their PVC, then to tell their neighbors to collect their PVC. So to enable them to vote in this coming election.
Election is just a few months to go, and as such, every political party will be out to woo supporters, but the job can only be complete with the possession of PVC. Mike Osemeke reporting for Superscreen News.
Moving on now, a former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, has called on the National Assembly to impeach Vice President Yemi Osinbajo over the abuse of Public Procurement Act in the approval of 5.8 billion naira as intervention fund for the Northeast in 2017. The former minister in a tweet described Osinbajo as a cheap crook for giving illegal approval of NEMA funds, urging the DSS to arrest and prosecute the Vice President for allegedly stealing and money laundering. The House of Representatives, in its investigative report, had indicted Osinbajo after its investigation into the fund disbursement. Kogi State government has commenced a table payment of salaries to all its workers in ministries, departments and agencies as part of its efforts to rid ghost workers from the payroll. Secretary to the state government, Folashade Ayode, who disclosed this, said the exercise would involve payment between 3 to 4 months salaries to workers over a period of 2 weeks. According to her, the table payment will hold in 9 centers for workers in Lokoja, while it would hold designated centers in all senatorial districts for out-of-station workers. Governments at all levels have been urged to create support for the promotion and acceptance of traditional medicine in Nigeria. This appeal was made by some practitioners and other Nigerians in an interview with Superscreen Kiruka Ibe in Lagos. A report.
Traditional medicines can be seen as medicines formulated from trees and plants for the treatment of some illness. These traditional medicines have played major roles in the world healthcare, with about 80% of Africans depending on phytomedicine. The usage of plants and its extracts or plant-derived pure chemicals to treat diseases in Nigeria have become a therapeutical modality which has stood the test of time. But it appears there are some problems limiting the development of phytomedicine. These herbal medical practitioners, speaking with Superscreen television, highlights major constraints to traditional medicine in Nigeria, while calling for government's support.
The response has been fairly good because people are beginning to realize the difference between natural products and chemically formulated products. One of the challenges we have is that our orthodox medical practitioners believe so much on British and American pharmacopoeia, and therefore if you try to tell them about some of these locally made products, they're not convinced and they don't want to use them. But now there are a group of doctors who have gone into the ethnic medicine, that is studying the medicines that are produced locally, and therefore now we have medical doctors that are also using traditionally produced products.
A lot of people who travel outside the country to look for medication, I think they really have a very wrong notion. Because, to be candid, we have billions of mineral resources, billions of raw materials to actually serve the entire world. I think Nigeria is richly blessed. So many quack herbal medicine practitioners abound. But then I think the government is being careful, and that is why, to some extent, they choose to license the operators before we can actually operate.
The government should give support to those that are doing it. With little or no more, little support, we can get to the top.
Speaking on the acceptance of traditional medicines, these Nigerians, in their comparison of traditional and orthodox medicines, say traditional medicines are preferable.
Herbal medicine is quite unique. It's quite essential in treating most of the probably infections, probably most of the illness and all of that is quite strengthening in healings.
They're more natural, and I think the body tolerates them more, But orthodox medicine seems to be more efficient, they seem to work better, faster, but I think they have more side effects, in the long run.
Traditional medicine is something that came from our own roots, where we belong to. But the orthodox medicine is refined traditional medicine from the white people. If we can refine our own too as their own, our own will be the best.
If health is wealth, what is important then is staying healthy, and so whichever works for individuals should be embraced. Nkiruka Ibe reporting for Superscreen TV News.
And away from that report, we'll take our first break, and when we return, we'll bring you business news in a moment. Stay with us. I'm glad to have you back. You're still watching Superscreen News at 6. And now to the word of business. The federal government and multilateral donor agencies are set to sign off the 3 key transmission projects worth $956 million in November. According to reports, the project will be executed by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, under its National Grid Expansion Plan. A document obtained at a meeting that was held by TCN with a representative of donor and multilateral agencies revealed that the project up for final approval include the Nigerian Electricity Transmission Access Project worth $486 million and financed by the World Bank. The Lagos-Ogun Transmission Project, funded by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, worth $200 million. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, says they are monitoring the investigations by law enforcement agencies against the directors and management of the defunct Sky Bank PLC. NDIC Chief Executive Maru Ibrahim, who made this known at the 2018 Sensitization Seminar in Abuja, said the move is to determine their culpability in the failure of the bank. The CBN had on September the 22nd revoked the operating license of Skybank PLC. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, while making the announcement at a press briefing in Lagos, said a bridge bank known as Polaris Bank has been created to assume the assets and liabilities of the defunct bank. And finally, on business, the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says the federal government has awarded 206 billion naira contract for the main work of the second Niger Bridge. Fashola disclosed this to journalists in Abuja, said the contract is awarded to Julius Berger Construction Company. He also said the project, expected to be completed in 36 months, will be funded under the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF. According to him, the funding project under PIDF means work will no longer stop on account of lack of funding. Fashola further said the contract for the main work on the second Niger Bridge was awarded after the completion of the 4 phases of the project. And away from business, we'll take another short break and bring you foreign and sport news in a bit. To join us again.